To Fire Gaming Project. So in this short video, I'll just be doing a quick review and discussion about the upcoming version 3.3 Phase 2 weapon banner. It will be featuring the Engulfing Lightning for Raiden Shogun and the Haran Geppaku Futsu for Kamisato Ayato. So I did just post the discussion video for their rerun banners as well, so do check that out as well. But yeah, let's just get to it. So let's just quickly go over the weapons. So to me at least, because I believe that Raiden Shogun herself is a must-pull unit, and I really kitted her out. So as you can see, mine is R4. I didn't go for the R5 at the time because I figured I'll just stop there. But I'm happy with what I have for her, and I kitted her out, and it looks amazing, and it works really well for her, of course. It's her signature weapon. Now, we had many discussions back then, over a year ago, when she released whether this weapon would be useful for other characters. If you happen to have extra copies, you could definitely give it to like Xiangling or somebody like that. But realistically, you'd want to just stack it all and give it to Raiden Shogun so that she becomes even stronger, right? I would recommend, if you're willing to, or you have enough Primo Gems saved, to go ahead and get at least one copy for Raiden Shogun. The good thing about 5-star weapons is that you don't have to have high refines to make them useful, especially because their passives is what really is the key for most 5-star weapons, which is great in this game. But of course, the higher the refinement, the higher the damage and passive bonus as well, right? So yeah, I would recommend, if you're willing to and capable, to go ahead and go for one copy of Engulfing Lightning for your Raiden Shogun. So yes. As for the Haran Geppaku Futsu, it's a nice and beautiful weapon. I went for it. I was lucky that so for Raiden Shogun, it was a different scenario. I did spend on the game to get her that, but for his, I didn't spend for this. I just went with whatever I had left over, and I was lucky that I got it and won the 50-50 for it as well, I believe. It was a while back, but yeah. I remember I didn't spend for this, so I'm happy that I did get this, and it works out. This weapon is also okay to be used for other sword characters as well. So it's so for Raiden Shogun, hers is kind of specific for her and maybe only a few characters. Let's just go back there. Let's just quickly say, yeah, so I mentioned that Xiangling could make use of it because not all of the other characters need energy, you know? Like, you could technically give it to Shenhe, but not many people have her, not many people went for her. You could give it to Xiao, but Xiao really wants like crit and stuff, right? You know, similar to Sino or Sino. So yeah, as for the Haran, it is a crit rate focused weapon, but you could make it work for Ayaka if you couldn't get her Mist Splitter. You could also make it work. I can see this working on like a Jean, or also on like maybe a Kaching. It could work for our upcoming character Alhaitham, perhaps. Right? So I can see it working for those kind of characters, but it is flexible in that way too. But is this a must-pull weapon? No, I would say probably not. This is a nice to have. But I would say even though the Engulfing Lightning is a niche weapon, but if it's definitely going to make your Raiden Shogun much better. So I would say that. Now, as for the other weapons on the banner, the 4 stars, let's just quickly go over those as well. Since we're on the sword right now, let's just talk about the sword. So the one that's coming is the Land Sword. This repeats very often and reruns on many banners. This is a nice to have for like a Kaching, an early build Kaching if you didn't give her anything else, because no one really uses Kaching anymore. So Pyro or Electro focus characters. I mean, some people put this on Bennett as well, but Bennett has better options. Like, he wants energy, right? Or he wants attack, right? So those are the things that you would want to give him. So yeah, my lines weren't, I never bothered giving it to anybody. At one point, I considered giving it to Kuki Shinobu as well, but I never built it up, and I gave her Vonius, as you can see, instead for energy purposes. But yeah, this is a versatile sword, but I wouldn't pull on this banner for this weapon. Moving along, back to polearms, the one that's coming is the Favonius polearm. Where is it? Here. So then, like, this Favonius is a really good placeholder, universal for all characters. You know, many 4 stars and 5 stars would make use of it. People use this on their, you know, I've seen it used on a Hu Tao or like a Zhongli as a placeholder until they get something better, right? And this is okay too, especially for Zhongli. If you use them as pure support and for energy purposes, just so you can do burst more often, then this is a good option. But again, not a must pull for this banner. You can get them from many banners, even just off banner as well. You can get it not with raid ups. So it's not a horrible thing to have a bunch of these as R5 and just in your roster. Moving along, just gonna quickly go through here. Oh, bow. Let's just use, because I just happened to touch Amber here. So with the bow, the one that's coming is the limited series Inazuma Moon's Moon. This is a good burst focused DPS weapon. Unfortunately, it is limited series, so you can only get it on certain banner reruns. This is not the first time it's rerun already, so I did get one copy of it. It's very hard to get like it to R5, but the thing is, after having it out for over a year, it's not really required for any character either, unless you have certain characters that are completely burst focused. And let me give you an example. You could probably do it for a child, I could see, maybe even Venti, but again, they want different things, right? Like this is attack, and it's okay, but Venti wants energy and elemental mastery, right? And Child wants crit rate. So, I mean, you could use as a placeholder, right? And there are 4-star characters that could make use of it. I mean, if you really had no one else, then you could probably give it to Fischl, maybe. That could work, right? Like the thing is that this is a great weapon on its own, but there are so many bows in the game. As you can see, I have so many bows that no one's attached with right now. All right, and I mean, most people wouldn't play Ganyu as a burst DPS anyway, right? So I'm just saying, like, this is good, but it's not like so good that you have to go hard and heavy to get like so many copies of it either. So it's nice to have. Okay, moving along, we'll just go this way then. So then with Claymore, we have the same set as the Moun's Moon. We'll get the akuoumaru. Now this is a really good Claymore, and as you can see, Claymore doesn't have as many options in the game. So this will work well for any of the burst DPS Claymore characters. So Ito perhaps, because Ito, you know, he has a long burst duration where he can just do massive damage, right? With all the slashes and his rotation. And then similarly Eula, right? Diluc and Beidou for sure, and Razor, of course. I gave it a Chongyun because, as you can see, those characters all have 5-star weapons instead. But akuoumaru, even at C0, is still pretty good. It's still very strong. Again, it's very hard to get these to high refines, but they're very strong weapons. So I would say, and I think other streamers already talked about this, I think the akuoumaru of the set of 3, so between this, the Moun's Moon Bow, and the Wayfarer's or Wave Rider's Fin, the spear, right? I think the akuoumaru is definitely the one that's they all have the same passive, but this is the better one of the one because of the fact that there aren't as many selection in the weapon side, as you can see. So yeah, it's a great weapon though. And last but not least, we have to talk about the catalyst. Let me find a catalyst user just to bring that up on the screen here. Okay, so the last one is the sacrificial fragments. This is going to be the great weapon for Sucrose. I instead gave it to Nahida recently, as you may recall, because I didn't go for her weapon, or I didn't get it at least, but I only used a few wishes on there. But anyway, and it's fine. Like, again, it's really just a great elemental mastery weapon for characters that need it. So again, Sucrose, I then gave Sucrose the Mahamare, which is also okay. So yeah, I would say that this weapon is not a must pull item, but it's a good to have. And overall, this weapon banner that's coming up with the Engulfing Lightning and the Haran is a pretty good weapon. It's pretty stacked, I will say. I wouldn't say that it's a must-pull weapon banner, but if you're okay with getting either of these 5-star weapons, which I think they're both good, okay, then like definitely go, and hopefully good luck to you for that. And in addition, good luck to you for getting any of the 4-stars. If you can get the Moun's Moon or the akuoumaru, that will be great, or even the sacrificial fragments. Technically they're all decent, but then like I wouldn't go hard and heavy for the 4-star weapons. You would want to go for the 5-star weapons if you are going for this, or maybe you're saving up for 3.4 because there are rumors that in 3.4 Hu Tao may rerun with Yelan, right? And then that could be a really stacked weapon banner. Who knows? That's what people are saying, right? I previously did my 3.4 predictions way before, and of course those are some of the characters that were talked about along with others. So yeah, who knows, right? But this is a decent weapon banner, and we'll know more about 3.4, of course, in over a week from now, after basically phase 2 of 3.3 launches tomorrow for us, and then usually 1 week or so approximately after, we'll get a preview live stream. So there you go. Anyway, those are my thoughts, just to sum it up. So let me know what you guys are thinking about the weapon banners, if you're polling or not. Or maybe you should just go for the characters as well. Let me know what you guys are polling for, and I'll see you guys in the next one.